What makes you instantly respect someone? 1. Admitting they fucked up. 2. Apologizing for fucking up. 3. Making it right. 4. Making a plan to not fuck up in the same way again. 5. Admit they have no fucking idea about something they have no fucking idea. If they introduce themselves. Likewise if they introduce you to others. I went to a party the other day where I only knew the host. One of her mates immediately came over to say hi, and brought me over to his crowd to introduce them to me. He instantly became the coolest dude in the room to me. I want to be that person, but I assume people will think I'm creepy or boring, so I just stand around the one person I know skeptical. Oh, wow. This guy is introducing himself to me with a confident smile and pleasant eye contact. What a creepy, boring loser. My goodness. That guy is standing over there, nervously looking around the room as he stands next to someone in a circle of persons he is not included in. What a cool, interesting stud. /s. Doing a better job than they have to just to make it easier on the next person. Going out of their way to pay me back when they owe me money. Integrity is huge for me. I don't make a habit of it, but there's a few friends that I've lent money to that didn't pay me back, and when I asked for it, they actually get pissed when they owe me money. But my friends that I've made over the past few years will do so even when I don't care or I forget about it. I like that quality in people. When someone can look at the merits of an opposing viewpoint without ranting/raging/scoffing, etc. When they treat others with respect without hesitation. And I'm not talking about your basic manners. I'll use a friend's family as an example. My friend's parents have fostered and adopted a lot of children with special needs. One of his brothers has Down syndrome and is low functioning. He's in his 40s, but people still treat him like a child. One afternoon they went out to lunch and the waitress gave him a regular menu and asked him questions about what he wanted to order, just like she did everyone else at the table. Even though he couldn't respond, he's nonverbal, and my friend's mom responded to the questions for him. The waitress addressed him instead of asking other people what he wanted to order. She didn't treat him any differently than the other adults at the table. That waitress is the kind of person I instantly respect. A person who picks up random litter they see. I was camping with a group of people 2 weeks ago. I didn't know too many people there. However, as everyone was packing up on Sunday morning, there was a guy who stopped and said to the people who he had a tent with, "Let's do a quick comb through and make sure we didn't leave any trash." Then, they all picked up tiny scraps of garbage from their campsite. I was really impressed. This dude was shotgunning beers until at least 3 a.m., and I thought he was just a joker, but he really earned my respect by respecting the campsite like that. Real men know that if you shotgun a beer, you crush it on your forehead and throw it in the recycling. Giving credit to someone else when they could easily have gotten away with taking it for themselves. I too don't respect 90% of Reddit. Someone who faces irrational anger with a calm and collective demeanor, and tries to talk them down without sounding condescending. That is hard to pull off, and being able to pull the plug on someone's rage is a skill that I think is undervalued and should be commended for more. My history professor is a master at this, especially when a particular student starts getting passive-aggressive and snarky. He tries to play it off as a joke to lighten up the situation, and it always works and the tension in the room immediately dissipates. He's good at his job and makes sure that the classroom is always a fun place to learn. Being willing to stand up for fairness when the situation is unfair in their favor. Most people won't complain if the situation is advantageous to them. It takes real integrity to remain objective and fair in such a scenario. I always respect someone a lot more if they are really good at remembering things about me from previous conversations. It helps prove that they actually listened to things I said. A person whose texts/emails don't appear to be written by a toddler. People who smile back if they catch your eye. Edit, as/you/getAve mentioned, he sometimes does the nod. This is still a more than acceptable option. Edit 2, I doubled, now quadrupled, my karma with this post. Cheers everyone. Smile. Sticking up for people who can't stick up for themselves. A clean home. Basic manners. Having reasons to boast but not boasting or flaunting it. Conversely, boasting about how rich, pretty, or successful you are will make it nearly impossible for me to respect you. When they are eager to listen to you and not just talk about themselves. Genuine humility. Saying please and thank you to the servers. As a sysadmin, this confused me greatly. Being accountable for your actions. If they've never made a Fantastic Four movie. A story from when I was young and handsome. Bunch of teenagers arguing at the back of the bus. 3 girls giggling and throwing a 4th girl's food out the window, and basically say as much as they can to imply she's fat. Girl number 4 runs to the front to have a bit of a cry. Girl number 1, appears to be ringleader, goes up to girl number 4 and continues making fun of her and asking why she's making a big deal. Girl number 4 looked real upset. A kid who looks a few years younger than the girls is watching this. He walks up and pulls off girl number 1's glasses and tells her he'll throw them out the window if she doesn't leave the other girl alone. Girl number 1 slinks off and the kid holds onto her glasses until the first 3 get off. Kid hands glasses back, and I've never seen anyone's cheeks as red as girl number 1's were. Girl number 4 gets off a stop later, and myself a few stops after that, but not before giving the kid a high five. I don't think I've ever gained respect for someone so quickly. Being nice to kids. Not in that spoiling them kind of way, but that supportive and friendly kind of way. Anyone who will immediately go along with a little kid's pretend world is good in my books. I'm a fairy. Oh my goodness. I've never met a fairy before. What kind? I'm a fire truck fairy. Wow, you must be super important in fairy world. It doesn't take much effort to encourage kids to play in their pretend worlds, and they have so much fun. How a person treats waiters and bartenders, especially when there is a mix-up with an order. When someone admits their faults. Genuine modesty. I'm not very good at being black. Frown. Being friendly towards animals. By holding themselves to the same standards they hold others at. We all have different values, but at least be consistent with yourself. No one likes a hypocrite. I learned that if I hold everyone else to the same standards I hold myself, I'll be constantly disappointed. Empathy. They strive to understand how others feel and care about those feelings. If they hold the F button to pay respects. By default you get my respect. I think it is wrong that a person needs to earn respect. Everyone deserves respect until a lack of respect has been earned. Emo. When someone is talking over you and you were blindsided by interruption, but another group member notices and pays attention, or even brings back to conversation to you so you can finish your point. A gun or possibly a knife. When they can admit they're wrong about somebody. Someone who's polite and kind to people in difficult situations when they don't have to be. Good example is a story I heard about someone spilling red wine on an expensive carpet at Richard Branson's house. He laughed it off and helped clean up. No freak out or anger. Little things like that can show you a person's character. A person that seeds torrents. I give respect to every person I meet until they show they don't deserve it. I never knew how much a handshake meant to me until I had a boss who would purposely catch you early and grip your fingers instead of your palm. So I couldn't get a firm handshake in. After a few weeks of this I told him, I swear to godly you catch me early on that handshake again and I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face. Edit, this is relevant. So in an attempt to beat his grip I tried reaching faster and I think he saw this coming, cause the first time I did this right before our hands clasped he bent his middle finger inward. As soon as they clasp and grip he'd wiggle his finger in my palm causing me to release prematurely saying what the fuck Lee? Speaking up on someone's behalf or shutting down a bully, especially in a group scenario or with new people. Anyone who will speak up and go, "Hey, that's not cool," or "Cut it out, that's not fair," in a group situation when someone is being made fun of or bullied, or there is sexist/racist crap going on, is instantly going to go up to the top of my list of people I want to become friends with. I just watch how they treat people and animals. If they treat other people with respect, I have great respect for them. When I let somebody in while driving and they actually give me the wave, no better feeling. Or when you're let in by somebody and when you wave to them they wave back. When I see a rich man talking to a poor man as if they are peers, he gains my respect. Being able to deal with children and control them without yelling or resorting to threats or violence. Do you have kids? You tell me the magic recipe for control and you'll stop threatening to take the phone away. You'll soon learn that 90% of the people who post about kids on Reddit do not have kids. Changing their opinion when presented with new evidence. Lifting massive weights. If you screw up in front of them and they say something like "all good dude" or "don't worry about it," or even better, "help you improve it," so many people nowadays just laugh at you for messing up. It's my turn to DD. I try not to, but I stereotype people like crazy. Never outward or anything. Just in my head. Well, one day I went to a park with my GF brother and sister-in-law. As we walk up, there is this big family of rather rotund black people. They had just had a birthday party and had a huge mess. My first thought was, I bet they won't even clean up after themselves. The reason I thought this was that no one was paying attention to the kids who were running around making a mess and they were just loud and obnoxious. Well, as they started packing up, the biggest blackest guy gets up and turns off the music, and with a booming voice of pure leadership, said, "Who are we?" The family shouts the _family. He then says, "That's right, that means we leave this place better than how we found it. Grab a bag and start cleaning." They had that place spotless in 10 minutes flat. Right then I felt like shit for my initial thoughts. 0 to 100% respect immediately. If they're relatively in shape but used to be super out of shape/fat, I instantly gain a level of respect for them. It shows that they have a work ethic and are capable of handling their problems instead of blaming it on something else. When meeting someone new and they give you a proper handshake, it's firm, but not too tight, and they look you right in the eyes during the handshake. Sometimes a proper head nod is added for a nice touch. I love it when a person stands up to meet me and shake my hand. It makes me feel so valuable and I in return feel a great deal of respect for them. I personally can see if one's depressed as hell. They have body language, and the subtle language they use. If one such person smiles and talks kindly despite being a depressed chap, it earns my huge respect. Yes, they may be putting up a facade of normality, but they're trying, and God knows how much that takes. When they take advice. Liked what you saw? Hit like, subscribe and the bell icon for more crazy Reddit content.